Hi YouTube. So today we're going to talk about pursuing a career in IT. I'm sure a lot of you are very excited about IT and from our phones to laptops to a MacBook Pro to coding. Yes, IT is quite exciting. And it's probably one of the most exciting careers to pursue out there right now. So today we're living in an information age. What does that mean? It means that at a touch of a button or even dictating to our telephones, we could get any information or data within a few seconds. So, that obviously makes learning easier. But what are the fundamentals of learning? You gotta have a desire to learn. Without desire, there's no enthusiasm. You gotta be passionate about what you're learning. If you're not passionate about it, then it's just going to be boring and you're not going to do well in it. Then you also have to be motivated. You have to have motivation. And motivation and desire obviously go hand in hand. Perseverance. Learning something new is not easy. It's no easy task. Perseverance, discipline is key on your learning journey. So why IT? So IT is quite diverse. From being an analyst to a techie or a CIO, so you could even be a C-level executive with IT. An analyst, you could be a business analyst, technical specialist. You could also be a desktop support person or work in a data center and be a server farm specialist. So it's quite diverse, and the skill sets that you require are also quite diverse. IT is a professional discipline, and it's also based on engineering principles. It's quite scientific, so if you had to study a pure computer science, it's quite a challenging course. And nowadays, the distinction between so-called business and IT slowly blurring, and eventually I predict that it would disappear altogether, because business is no longer simply selling or just rendering a service. It is IT. The foundations of business are all based on IT. If you are a carpenter, you have to handle your designs, and that's all based on IT. You have to handle your invoicing, your quotation process. It's all based on IT. You gotta have a Facebook presence. You gotta have maybe even a YouTube channel. So everything today requires IT in order to be successful, because the millennials are not going to patronize your business if you're not technologically advanced. So what does IT look like in the next 20 years? Cloud is a big component of it, and I predict that cloud is going to be around for at least the next 20 years. And what is cloud? Cloud is simply hosting your infrastructure and your applications in one of the cloud vendors' data centers around the world, like AWS or Google Compute or Microsoft Azure, and there's a couple of other players as well. And DevOps and cloud are quite related. So DevOps are your from your coding to your operations, your continuous integration, your continuous development. The DevOps is what glues and bridges your development and your actual running or your operations of your business. DevOps simply make the day-to-day running of your business and from your releases easier. And development is obviously a large portion of the whole thing. Development is quite key in IT if you want to become a pure developer. And there are various languages that are available out there. Java is probably the most popular right now. If I look back about 30 years, COBOL was quite popular back in the day, especially from a business coding perspective. And then we had things like C and C++. C++ is still quite popular today, and it's probably one of the languages that are closest to engineering. So if you want to do a electronic engineering degree, then C++ and C are very popular there because C is also used in embedded programming. XaaS, so this X basically stands for infrastructure as a service or software as a service. If you don't want to host your infrastructure locally within your organization, you could, or even your applications for that matter, you could outsource all of that. So you could just buy a service. So you could Office 365 is a popular software as a service today because you don't even need to install any software. You could run all of that from your browser. Infrastructure as a service, you could now define an entire application stack in code. So infrastructure as a service is quite popular today, and things like Terraform, Chef, CloudFormation from AWS, that allows you to define all of your code, all of your infrastructure in lines of code. Now we get on to the heavily scientific and mathematical portion of IT, and that's machine learning and AI. Usually people that are in these fields they have a very strong mathematics background, so they would probably have majored in maths or applied mathematics at university. They probably come from either a quantitative analysis background, statistical background, or even an engineering background. In these disciplines, you have to either use calculus, perhaps in data science quite often. Machine learning and AI, they build on the foundations of mathematical concepts. So where do you learn? You can obviously take the popular choice, and that's going to a university, college, or a technikon. If you're looking at something quick and getting certified and getting into the industry quite quickly, then you can get certified by a vendor. However, these vendors regularly require you to update that certification. If you are not very strong in mathematics but would still like to pursue a career in IT, then you could look in operational roles and support roles, and that is, for example, your desktop support role or operational role where you provide like simple end user support for common applications. You could study online via Udemy or LinkedIn Learning, and as we mentioned, when it comes to, if you want to pursue a pure science, computer science qualification or a degree, then you have to have mathematics, and you have to have also take an elective maybe in applied maths, and that would then earn you a Bachelor of Science. Or you could also obtain a BCom, and that is more information systems or business information systems coupled with other commerce related electives like accounting or economics. And eventually, maybe after 15 to 20 years in your career, you could become a C-level executive, maybe a CIO, and there you define the strategy of the business when it comes to IT. And if you have a BCom management coupled with the BIS, business information systems, then those are the typical roles or qualifications that CIOs. So thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please post them in the comment section, and please like and subscribe. Thank you.